won't see anywhere else.
Can't argue with any of that. When the news happens, it happens here.
On Britain's newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 a.m.
Only on GB News.
To all of you who voted for GB News to win at the Trick Awards for the 3rd year in a row.
So thank you so much for voting for us.
First, and hopefully there'll be a few more to come down the line.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's because of you that we're proud to be the People's Channel. It's because of you that we are Britain's news channel.
Good evening, it's 11 p.m. I'm Patrick Christys, and this is Patrick Christys Tonight, late edition, breaking right now. The Prime Minister has caved to the rebels, dodging what was dubbed a no-confidence vote on benefits and welfare. Another astonishing U-turn. Meanwhile, just as we reveal that migrants have assault rifles on the other side of the channel, the Daily Telegraph is reporting a one-in, one-out deal between Britain and France. And I'm going to be taking you to North Korea as Kim Jong-un opens the latest must-see holiday destination, plus... we have got a serious treat for you tonight. Look, it's a tremendous set of front pages, massive government U-turn again, talks of a one-in, one-out deal with the French. We've also got Palestine Action boasting about radicalising people behind bars. And here to go through it all with us is the former Conservative MP Anna Firth, Labour Party activist Chris Worrell, and GB News contributor, comedian and firm fan favourite Lewis Schaefer. But first, let's get your headlines with Sam Francis.
Patrick, thank you, and a very good evening to you just after 11 o'clock. Well, breaking news tonight, Sir Keir Starmer is expected to announce £2 billion in welfare concessions after crisis talks with Labour rebels threatened to derail his reforms. The climb down means existing personal independence payment claimants will be protected, a move that could wipe out nearly half of the government's planned savings. At least 126 MPs had backed an amendment to kill the bill, forcing the Prime Minister into a retreat to avoid a Commons defeat tonight. But economists are warning it could leave the Chancellor with no choice but to raise taxes or cut spending in the autumn budget. The Conservatives are also calling it another screeching U-turn from what they describe as a weak Labour government. However, Downing Street insists it's about getting the reforms right. Two Met police officers have been sacked with immediate effect for the strip search of a 15-year-old black girl at school. A search deemed disproportionate, humiliating and carried out while she was on her period. Known as Child Q, she was wrongly suspected of carrying cannabis and searched without an appropriate adult present. A third officer received a final written warning. England's Children's Commissioner has called it one of the most disturbing cases in recent memory. The force says it's deeply sorry and admits there were serious failings in training and in oversight. The pound surged today above $1.37, hitting its highest point in almost 4 years. The market's reacting to reports that Donald Trump could replace the head of the US Federal Reserve. The president slammed Jerome Powell, calling him terrible and hinting at a change. Traders are worried Donald Trump could pick someone more aligned with his views, weakening the dollar. Major porn sites will introduce strict age checks for UK users from the 25th of July. It's part of new Ofcom rules aiming to stop children accessing harmful content online. The robust age verification will include methods like credit card checks or facial age estimation. It's the first time the measures have been enforced in the UK. And Jeff Bezos has been targeted again by protesters ahead of his star-studded Venice wedding. Today, a mannequin was set up near the canal depicting the Amazon billionaire sat on a toilet in his wedding tuxedo. The stunt, called Pre-Wedding Nerves by the anonymous art collective Con Artists, features Bezos clutching a newspaper with fake US dollars spilling out of a box. It follows a string of protests against the multi-million-pound wedding, with activists even threatening to block the canal with inflatable crocodiles. Those are the latest headlines for now. Plenty more still to come right here with Patrick Christys.
For the very latest GB News direct to your smartphone, sign up to News Alerts by scanning the QR code or go to gbnews.com/alerts.
Well, welcome back to Patrick Christys Tonight, late edition. This is a genuinely cracking set of front pages. Here we go. The Independent. Starmer cracks. PM forced into welfare talks with rebel MPs. I will reveal very shortly that it's actually gone further than that. But the Metro. Keir not faring too well. Well, you could say that again, I suppose. The Daily Telegraph. Starmer caves into rebels on benefits. They also have a couple of other stories on their front page there. They talk about a one-in, one-out deal, essentially, with the French and Britain when it comes to migrants. If we go over to The Guardian now, massive concessions on welfare bill win over key Labour rebels. I'm just going to say again, as we'll find out, that's not true, because you've got Clive Lewis and Diane Abbott, both of whom, as I will show you, are saying no, scrap the bill. I'm not really sure who they're saying this has won over. He's absolutely screwed it. Let's go to the Daily Express. How dare you suggest she is on her deathbed? Now, I'm just going to say this, and I mean absolutely no disrespect whatsoever to Esther Rantzen, but this is an article by Esther Rantzen's daughter saying that she's not on her deathbed. With respect to Esther Rantzen, wasn't the whole point that she was on her deathbed, which is why we basically ended up with the assisted dying bill and a few things. So, you know, I'm glad that she's not, don't get me wrong, but just make you wonder a bit. Anyway, let's go to the Daily Mail. Starmer caves into rebels on benefits. There we are. The Labour rebels force Starmer to water down benefits bill. The Sun. Killer backstalking Cheryl. Very concerning story, this, and it's Cheryl Cole, and it's the fact that there is, according to them, a killer stalker harassing her. So there we are. We'll round ourselves off here. Let's go to the Times. PM pledges protections for disabled to rescue the bill. And the Mirror. New hope on PIPs, this is personal independent payments, the thing that Keir Starmer has just done a substantial U-turn on. Let's get the thoughts of my panel. I don't know if we might be able to bring in any of the detail that we had before as well. So we had a tweet from Clive Lewis MP. There's a tweet from Diane Abbott as well saying this doesn't go far enough. In a nutshell, what's happening, as we understand it, is that Sir Keir Starmer has caved, and if you are on PIP benefit, it's staying the same. And if you are on the health aspect of universal credit, it's staying the same. This whole reason he was doing these things was to try to save the country money. And he's not going to save any money here, is he, Lewis?
Probably not. I mean, what does Labour do? They're not good with money. I was actually told that by a councillor in Southwark. We're not very good with money. They're not very good with money. So why did you expect that they were going to be good with money?
Yeah, well, but I mean, this is something that they said they were going to do, and then these U-turn because he's got the whiff of a bit of pressure. I mean, we're all going to end up paying for this, aren't we?
This is completely and utterly humiliating for the Prime Minister. This is his 8th U-turn in under a year. I mean, he's gone from a historic landslide to U-turning, you know, every 5 minutes. He can't stand up to his backbenchers. He is not a serious Prime Minister. He can't be taken seriously. And frankly, he's made a rod for his own back. And this is going to... When you're weak, as he is, people try it on. And this is going to carry on and on and on. This will be the end of him.
He's lost James O'Brien. There is a clip in the system. I'm hoping we might be able to play that. It's a James O'Brien clip I did at 9 p.m. But he's lost James O'Brien. James O'Brien's coming out saying that this is absolutely awful. Keir Starmer's an ocean-going dud. I'm paraphrasing here. I mean, has he got any mates?
Of course he's got mates. He's got another 300 of them there. We've got 1,000 people a day claiming PIP, right? And the legibility is being tightened up on that. So, you know, you can say we're not good with money, but the point being is that they're making a step in the right direction to making sure that those people that are coming on and trying to get it now are going to face tougher eligibility criteria.
How much are we going to save now? Come on.
Well, it's not going to be the $5 billion that they set out. That's obviously quite clear. So let's be honest about it.
Is it?
I haven't done the maths on that. But...
And you know what's really bad is, like, so what if he's changing his mind? You want someone to change their mind if they've made a mistake, number one. And number two, you don't want him to be powerful. You don't want a guy like that. The guy's I don't know what you'd call him, but he's not a good guy. He's not good for this country.
Do you think he's made a mistake, though, Lewis?
I think he's made a mistake. His core beliefs are a mistake.
Do you not believe that they should be cutting the benefit bill?
What does this guy believe in?
We know what he believes in. He doesn't believe what's best for this country. He believes what's best for over there at the whatchamacallit.
So you agree with Nadia Ratomi and Diane Abbott that he's made a mistake?
I don't follow those people.
Well, so that sounds like you do, though.
But either way, because can I tell you how bad this guy's been, how bad Labour's been? They're constantly saying Tory cuts, Tory austerity. I've been hearing that for years. For years, he's been promising he was going to spend money. It's like a guy coming home for Christmas and he's promising his kids are going to get nice Christmas presents, and he's got no money, so he shouldn't have opened his mouth.
The thing is, it's spineless. It's basically spineless, isn't it? How does Keir Starmer look himself in the mirror? You mentioned it there, Anna. U-turn. It's absolutely astonishing. When he went into politics, right, he will have had a vision. He will have had these principles and these morals.
He didn't share it with anyone, did he?
Well, and he's not acted like it. At some point, he's going to have to look at him. When it's all said and done, which by the sounds of it might be quite soon for Sir Keir Starmer, he's going to have to look himself in the mirror, and he's going to be really disappointed with what he sees, I think, Anna.
The problem is that if you want to be popular, if you want to be liked by everybody, then you cannot be Prime Minister, because politics is about making tough decisions. And Thatcher, it was 6.5 years before she lost her first vote, because she didn't give in. She decided what she was going to do, and she did it. Blair, it was 8 years. Now, that shows that those people were serious Prime Ministers.
No.
He is not serious.
It shows. It doesn't show anything like that. I mean, I don't understand how you have a political system in this country. Because that's a bad political system.
But it's also treating us all like we're idiots, Chris, because we all know this is a U-turn and a concession, and he's going to come out and he's going to tell us it isn't. By the way, I said he'd lost James O'Brien, so let's... Is
that a bad thing?
Quite, fair enough. And also, I would argue that maybe losing Clive Lewis isn't a bad thing either. But anyway, here is James O'Brien.
Got two of the biggest things they've done, the winter fuel and the welfare. You can use the word collegiate until you're blue in the face. You can tell me how uplifting and heartening it is to have leaders that actually listen, but from now till Christmas. But these are clangers of epic proportions that have been dropped upon the feet of the people who introduced them. These are huge missteps and mistakes. This is poor judgment.
I should bring up another front page we haven't seen from that. I think we had the Eye before, the Independent before. Just on this exact topic, because there's 7 front pages tomorrow that have got this story: Starmer U-turn, all that stuff. He's lost, hasn't he? This is gay terminal, Chris.
No, look, I mean, he's got 120 MPs. There's cracks in that rebel clause a lot anyway. You've got Nadia Ratomi on the front of the Mirror, I think, saying that she's not going to vote for the bill. So all of these backbenchers who have stood up proudly to see a benefit system ballooning to points at which don't keep up with the actual prevalence rate of health-related, increases. And we've got an outlier in the OECD. People like James O'Brien are wrong. And the thing is, these backbench MPs are going to be regretting what they've done today after this. And I think we're going to see splits with their socialist campaign group and the rest of them looking like idiots.
It's just that he can't do anything and see it through. He can't do anything and see it through. So, we're in a situation now where welfare needs to be cut, Lewis, right? So you've got something like 650,000 people aged between 16 and 24 that are on some form of benefits, loads of them claiming that there's a big problem with mental health. 1 in 5 new cars on British roads is a motability vehicle, which is mental, really. Right. And 1/4 of the British population is registered as disabled. And Keir Starmer is not doing much about that. What do you think? What would you say to those people, Lewis? How would you get them into work, get them off their backside?
Just starve them. I mean, that's what people have to do. That's what you got to do to people. You just can't give people money. Like when I moved to this country so many years ago, they said, you can't take any money. And I believed them. And I think it was a mistake by believing. You can't take any money. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to say, listen, we're not giving you any money. No. What else can you do? Shoot them? I mean, I suggest that, but I think that's maybe a bit strong.
Yeah, it's just not allowed these days. The world's gone mad, hasn't it? The world's gone mad. You know, it's amazing.
What do you suggest we do? There's only one thing you could do to get people not to take money, is not to give them money.
Yeah.
But the problem is with Labour, who are horrible people. Unfortunately, the country's 50% it's not even 50% because they're not going to win the next election, and they know it in their spilkas. They know.
In their spilkas.
And that's
whatever it is.
why. And that's why.
Sorry, no, I'm going to second. I'm not going to drop this. Where is the spilkas?
Yeah, I don't even know where it is. It's the kind of no, you know what it is? It's the kind of word my father would use. It's an old country word from Fiddler on the Roof or something.
Okay.
Great word, yeah.
Well, you have been asked to stop fiddling on the roof. It's putting off other people. But anyway, right.
Yeah.
Let's move ourselves on to another story now, because this is on the front of 2 national newspapers, and it's the Prime Minister has reportedly reached a deal. Oh, no, that's not this one. It's a different one. It's a deal with the French. We're whizzing ourselves on. It's a deal with the French over a one-in, one-out migration policy. Let's reintroduce the Daily Telegraph for people. There we go. So, massive problems in the English Channel. As we showed you earlier on my other show, I revealed to you that human traffickers have got AR-15 semi-automatic assault rifles, the kind of thing that's normally reserved for a good old-fashioned American school shooting. They are on the other side of the channel with them now, and they are coming to Britain, a lot of these people. Sir Keir Starmer has apparently, Anna, reached a deal with the French, but you don't seem to be too happy with it.
No, of course, this is yet more massive climb-downs and smoke and mirrors. Remember, this is the Prime Minister who was going to smash the gangs. All he's actually done is smash the records, and we've got record numbers coming. This is the Prime Minister who made a speech a few weeks ago saying that we were now becoming an island of strangers and we had to have less illegal immigration. This is not going to change the numbers one jot, because it's one in and one out. So we're paying all this money to the French, but we're going to get exactly the same numbers that we've got now.
Go on, Chris, because there is another side to this, I suppose, isn't there? Go on.
Well, look, it's a paddle in the right direction, because at the moment we've got 18,000 coming over just this year so far, and there's going to be a cap at 20. And if they're going to be processing people off-site in France that have genuine family reunification reasons to swap one in, one out, that is better than just keeping them coming in without unabated.
Lewis, what's your spilkas telling you about this?
Spilkas is telling me, I remember when Anna, we were here last week, and I fell in love with Anna, and Anna fell in love with me, because I said to her, I said, I don't care about her husband.
I love your optimism, Lewis.
Well, you know what? Your husband doesn't look that big on a picture on Google, and you might... You know, I think you need an older man like me.
Let's get back to the story, Lewis.
The story is like in America, the greatest country in the world. Donald Trump went in and said, no one's coming in, and no one came in. We don't need to make any deals with France. We need to put the boats of Britain in between us and France and say, if you're a boat and you're trying to cross over, we're not going to let you...
Well, the French are going to be intercepting the boats. They've agreed to do that.
They are liars. They're called...
This is very muted, isn't it, from Chris? We've had a toe in the right direction.
Paddle in the right...
Paddle. But the reality is, the only way we're going to stop these crossings is smashing the gangs, which Keir Starmer's not able to do, and stopping the incentives.
That is such a lie. What is it with you? What is it with you people? It's like, it has nothing to do with the traffickers and the gangs.
Of course it's to do with the traffickers.
It doesn't. They would come anyway. They'd figure their own way out.
Well, just on this, because we want to play you this clip. This is what's waiting on the other side of the channel. Let's take it away.
Right.
There you go. It's an AR-15 by the looks of things, a semi-automatic rifle. It's one of the most deadly guns out there, and it's just they're advertising it on the other side of the channel. And that's the same bloke, by the way. He's a human trafficker, in case you missed my earlier show. And he's also... Well, he's bringing people to Britain. He's given us his exact location, and we're not doing anything about it.
I know, and he's convincing the people to come, because they wouldn't have come, except he was there very...
It's not normal to be going around with AK-47s. Normal people don't do that. That is a gangmaster.
If you have a boat and you're in France and the people want to come to Britain because they're going to get a nice hotel room that we can't get because it's being given to somebody else.
All thanks to Brexit, though, Lewis.
Stop the incentives.
All thanks to Brexit. We have no deportation agreements. They get put up in hotels. What this agreement's doing is returning them within weeks. So that's a step, a paddle in the right direction.
Hey, but you know what? Do you know what Donald Trump did? The great
it.
American president, which we need in this country, is he just said, "No, you're not coming," and just say, "No, you're not coming."
All right, we are going to have to move on because another big story in tomorrow's round of front pages is that the Palestine Action group have been boasting about radicalising people in jail just days before they are prescribed as a terrorist organisation. Plus, you are not going to want to miss the nation's newest game show. Patrick Christys tonight, late edition.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
Because you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff.
Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood.
So join me on Dubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
Allergy practitioner Dr. Claire Anyamasigwe joins us now. Good to see you this morning.
Very good.
Does the hot weather necessarily mean more pollen?
It does. It actually accelerates the issue. So you've got pollen from the trees, from the grass, you've got pollution, and now you've got the heat wave as well. So that concoction flares up the skin, especially around the nostrils. We're streaming, we're sniffling, we're itching our eyes. So for me, as an allergist, my practice is about advocating for plant-based antihistamines. So I think the prep starts the night before. You're washing the clothes that you've worn the night, during the day, so you're not bringing pollen into the home. You are eating quercetin-rich ingredients like leeks, garlic, kale. So you can make yourself a lovely soup. I would say use them together. If you are somebody that already eats quercetin-rich foods in your diet, you're doing a more plant-based diet, then you're ahead of the game. But if you're not and you've suddenly been hit this week, 26 Celsius is going higher every day. 16 million of us are suffering with hay fever. 3.4 million of that have hay fever and asthma. So for those sufferers, they're looking for a solution right now. I would combine the two. I would start changing my diet to match what I've suggested, and I would also do what your GP suggests.
Do any of these things, if you take them year in, year out, do they lessen do they have an impact over time and you become less reactive to pollen?
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I'm really advocating for children. If we can get parents watching this to start children with natural raw honey, so find out about your local beekeepers, start spreading your natural jams.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Good Afternoon Britain isn't just about us. The wonderful thing about this programme is it's about everyone watching. It's an interactive programme.
Well, there absolutely is something to see here, and we're going to be talking about it more.
Whether it's breaking royal news,
Please bring us up to date.
or indeed a particularly punchy speech in the House of Commons,
Very, very curious.
we bring it to you live, and then we bring you live reaction as well.
That's Good Afternoon Britain, weekdays from midday.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back to Patrick Christys Tonight, late edition. So, the breaking news at the top of this show was that Sir Keir Starmer has done a whopping great big U-turn on benefits and welfare. I can now bring you a story that is on page 7 of tomorrow's Sun newspaper, and you are gonna love this. I think we can bring it up, hopefully. There he is, look at this. Ed Miliband has sent an aide, a member of staff, on a 10,000-mile jungle jolly to go and check hotels. I'll read you a bit more detail. Ed Miliband's Net Zero department sent a health and safety inspector on a 10,000-mile round trip to check that the hotels were OK. Just one civil servant, apparently, got onto a gas-guzzling flight to Brazil and back to scout out the British delegation's accommodation for an upcoming summit on climate change. You could not make this up. It was funded by you, the taxpayer, and it was last night branded a jolly in the jungle. The Energy Secretary was accused of hypocrisy for sending staff 10,000 miles to check whether or not his hotel in Brazil is nice enough. What a complete pillock, Lewis.
I don't think it's a complete pillock. We've all checked into hotels and you just hate the person, your girlfriend or ex-wife or something, or maybe Anna in the future, who booked this hotel and they don't, you know, they think you can live anywhere. You can't live anywhere. You're Louis Schaefer. You're from New York. Actually, I can. But that's what it is. But the truth is this is a non-story because climate change is dead as an issue, and it will be dead as an issue. Every single day, more and more people realize that they've been lied to about climate change.
I totally disagree, Lewis, but particularly on some of the other, your first point.
Yeah.
About any future. I don't think we have a future, I'm afraid. I'm really sorry to break that to you live on air.
You're going to say that on the air.
But let's get back.
People are heartbroken.
Let's get back to this. The reason that this is so... I'm furious about this.
Yeah.
You know, this guy can ring up anybody in any of these hotels, in any of these towns, and he could ask for videos to be sent. He could go on booking.com like the rest of us. There'll be reciprocal arrangements with embassies, with clubs, goodness knows what else. There's no need at all. It shows how out of touch he is.
And as ever, they get done by some absolute numpty behind the scenes. This numpty happens to be called John Gaunt. It's not that John Gaunt, it's a different John Gaunt, who is a health and safety advisor. You know what he did? It looks like he posted it on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, he has done this. This past few days, I've been privileged enough to be in, I don't know how you pronounce this, Belém, in Brazil, doing health and safety checks on various hotels earmarked for COP30. The journey there took 23 hours. The journey home will take the same. Currently in Lisbon Airport, waiting on my flight to Heathrow. Despite all that, it's been an incredible experience. When I started my new job, I never dreamt I'd be travelling this far. But sometimes life deals you a good hand. Idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the Sun has done an absolute job in him, but, you know, what's funny about this, with the net zero thing, it seems to be, like, zero irony lost on this civil servant who's agreed to go on this journey and then post about it. I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, it talks about Alok Air Miles, who also was previously criticised for doing that, but he's done tenfold the price.
Does Chris believe that climate change is a scam?
It's not a scam, no.
Put upon by left-wing people like yourselves who want to take over the entire world, so they manipulate.
I mean, if you want to help me take over the world...
Why don't you apologise to the people out there? You should apologise. And you know what? You should apologise too. You're even worse than he is because you don't...
Right.
I knew you were looking a bit...
I love his tip.
Yes, you just basically crushed my hopes and dreams.
OK, and we're back to the Brazilian jungle, where COP30 is going to be taking place. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take you to Palestine instead, you lucky devils. Palestine Action have launched... This is on the front of tomorrow's Times, so this is a big scoop again on the front of tomorrow's Times newspaper. Palestine Action has launched a renewed recruitment drive just days before it's going to be prescribed as a terrorist organisation. And it's telling members they're unlikely to get lengthy sentences because juries will acquit them. Do you remember when there was the Black Lives Matter Edward Colston statue, where they dragged the statue into the river, and the jury, I think, there acquitted them, even though you could all see it was criminal damage with your own eyes. Anyway, the group... they were found not guilty. Sorry, they were found not guilty. Apologies. Anyway, the group has held daily webinars this week, offering newly signed-up members a crash course on direct action, as they pledge to continue as normal. They are claiming that they're able to radicalise people from behind bars. Anna, are you incensed about this?
And also, I completely and utterly incensed, but also by the story about this in the Daily Telegraph, that they're actually preparing to attack more targets across the country, including more RAF bases. There's two things about this. Yeah, one, these people should get lengthy sentences. This is massive criminal damage, millions and millions of pounds of our money which has been damaged. But secondly, these places should be better guarded.
Well,
oh my God.
These are...
Well, they'd have been shot in America, wouldn't they?
You know what? Yeah, they would have been better guarded. These people shouldn't even be in the country. They hate this country. They hate this country. And they want to destroy the country. you don't even want to say what religion they are, but they're a certain religion. Their religion says it is a religious thing. It is a religious thing.
Okay.
They are at war with us.
Whilst I agree with the sentiment, and I think regular viewers and listeners on this show will know my views about certain radical elements of a particular religious community.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to groups like Palestine Action, unfortunately, Lewis, far too many of them are just white middle-class leftists.
Which is why they should be double dealt with.
Right, OK.
But they're actually telling us
because they're
which
traitors
are
against their own people. You can understand why somebody who doesn't believe...
Go on, Chris. Do you think that this is bad? So
have I gone too far?
No,
far?
Lewis, no,
I think it is too far.
I think it's all right.
Because she said she wasn't interested in me. She couldn't even play the game and pretend. Like, we like you. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to hit on Chris.
I'm doing my best.
No,
Chris,
you took my thing way too seriously.
OK, right, we're moving on to Chris, because, Chris, where are you on the idea that Palestine Action are, but firstly, unrepentant, radicalising people in prison and going to strike again?
Well, it's concerning that they're going to be radicalising people in prison. I think in the Daily Telegraph it also says that they're planning more RAF vandalism. So the fact that they are being prescribed as a terror organisation is probably duly correct if they're going to carry on doing that. I mean, what's also interesting is on this point about Palestine and free speech's kneecap on the front of The Guardian are actually still being able to present themselves or play at Glastonbury. People got, to your point, there's people paying 40 grand for glamping to Glastonbury to listen to people who are Hezbollah and all that sort of stuff. And meanwhile, these guys are actually acting on this to damage our military equipment in a heightened time of where we're going on a war footing, as the Church of England seems to tell us.
I find Chris very attractive.
There you go.
Because he's right about this.
Fair enough. Yeah, all right. Just that's that. I just will say on the old kneecap thing, I think there's an ongoing active court case to which whichever one of these people it is has pleaded not guilty to. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, right, coming up, we might just have found your next holiday destination. Yes, that's right. Unfortunately, it's in North Korea, but whatever. And what happened to Anna Wintour? Yes, it's nearly time for your inside stories and... I'm going to launch the UK's newest game show. Stay tuned.
Hello again and welcome to the latest update from the Met Office for GB News. Hot and sunny weather is on the way for many by the end of the weekend, but for the next 24 hours it's going to be very changeable, very mixed across the country, with thicker cloud returning to many northern and western parts overnight and outbreaks of rain along with tighter isobars. That means a freshening breeze. We do start with some clear spells during the evening, but quite quickly the thicker cloud rolls in from the west and we're going to see dreary conditions by dawn, especially towards the northwest, with outbreaks of rain for Western Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northwest England, North Wales. After some rain moves through earlier in the night, it's drying up by this stage across southern parts of the UK. Even some sunshine first thing through southern England, parts of the Midlands, East Anglia and the southeast. But thick cloud further north and low cloud at that, so it's going to be covering some of these hills in Western Scotland, misty conditions around the coast. Drizzly outbreaks of rain, especially for central and western Scotland into northwest England, Northern Ireland. That rain will be on and off, but it will be persistent over some of the hills and mountains. Likewise for North Wales, but drier for South Wales, just one or two light showers. Equally, a few spots of rain, perhaps over Dartmoor, but mostly dry towards the southwest. And the best of the sunshine during the morning will be through the Midlands, East Anglia and the southeast, where it will feel warm and increasingly humid once again, with the wind coming from the southwest. And that wind will be picking up strength across northern parts of the UK, bringing more persistent and heavier rain into Western Scotland, northwest England by the end of the afternoon, making it feel on the cool side, but temperatures up to 27 or 28 Celsius, where we see the sunshine in the southeast. That leads us on to a muggy night for sleeping and a grey start to the weekend for many of us. Now, the areas of rain across Scotland sink south into central parts of the country by Saturday afternoon and then fizzle away as high pressure builds in from the south. That's going to import much hotter air by the end of the weekend and the start of next week.
Mornings don't have to be tiresome, especially if you have the right company.
Wake up to news as it happens, opinion and debate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment too.
Because when the kettle's on, we're on.
That's Breakfast on GB News, a show worth waking up for.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
We'll spread the news, you spread the word.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back to Patrick Christys Tonight, late edition, and let's give you a reminder of tomorrow's newspaper front pages, or today if you're watching us in the morning. So, Independent, Starmer cracks, PM forced into welfare talks with rebel MPs. This really is the big story. The actual story goes further than what you're seeing on the front pages, because since we came on air, we had that breaking news. Keir Starmer has rode back big time on personal independent payment and universal credit. Big U-turn. The Metro, Keir not faring too well. The Telegraph, Starmer caves into rebels on benefits. The Guardian, massive concessions on welfare bill, win over key Labour rebels. The Express, just slightly bizarre one here from Esther Ranson's daughter. How dare you suggest that she's on her deathbed? The Daily Mail, Starmer caves into rebels on benefits. The Eye, Labour rebels force Starmer to water down benefits bill. The Sun, different story entirely this. Cheryl Cole, or sorry, I think she is now Cheryl Tweedy, apologies. Well, a killer stalker is back stalking her, apparently. And The Times, PM pledges protections for disabled to rescue Bill. The Mirror, new hope on Pips, and there we go. So basically, your front pages are full of Keir Starmer U-turn. Another one, yes, indeed, another one. How much longer can this carry on? But he must wish he's got the life of a dictator, mustn't he? Well, funny you should say that, Patrick, because North Korea's supreme leader Kim Jong-un has unveiled his latest project. It's a new massive tourist zone in the country's east coast. Lovely part of the world. It's all part of his grand plan to turn the area into a holiday hotspot, despite it being one of the most isolated and oppressive regimes on Earth, especially since World War II. Let's have a little look, shall we, at this must-see, glitzy vacation destination.
김정은 동지께서 중동 TF를 끊으시었습니다. 다양한 봉사시설과 문화생활 기지를 갖춘 국보급의 해양공원이 일떠서 또 하나의 소중하고 의의 있는 결실을 맺게 관광지구 건설 사업이 성과적으로 결속되고 해당 지역의 진흥을 추동하고
One thing I will say is everyone in that video looked really well fed, didn't they? Yeah?
Yes,
no,
possibly.
No evidence of famine there. You know, that skinny guy at the front, he's probably just a vegan anyway. But there we go. So, who's up for going to North Korea then? Lewis?
Well, do you know what? The reason why North Korea exists as North Korea is because they have the atomic bomb, and America or Israel didn't deal with it. And so this is an exact same situation that's happening in Iran right now. It's not the exact, it's the opposite, is that we didn't deal with that. So we let them have a bomb and let them do what they want to do, and that's why they're so annoying. And, I mean, Iran has been annoying for 46 years, and how...
Would you not go to North Korea, though? I mean, this tourist destination spot, would you not go just to see the show?
Well, if you need health and safety for the hotels checked out, let me know. I'll be happy to do a £40,000 trip to check it out and make sure the slides are safe for you.
Yes,
volunteering.
If you just joined us, that is, of course, the story that's on page 7 of tomorrow's Sun. Ed Miliband, EcoEd, sent his aid on this massive jolly to Brazil to check out our hotel. Anna, would you go to North Korea, if anything, just to get away from Lewis?
Well, there is that. There is that. I'm not taken in by this at all. I mean, North Korea is one of those places where if you've gone over the border from South Korea and they catch you, you know, you can be thrown into jail and you know, never seen again. My daughter went to South Korea. Different story.
Yeah.
Go to South Korea. You can go to North Korea, Lewis.
Yeah,
danger tourism, as they call it.
I think we made a mistake by not bombing the hell out of those people when we could have bombed the hell in the same way like Israel and the United States bombed Iran. And anybody who thinks, oh, we made a mistake by bombing Iran is just look at North Korea. And
they've got nice hotels though. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, and you'll probably be the only person in it as well, which is quite nice. We do actually have a very special treat for you now, because obviously we do the front pages on this show. And you know, we've brought you the British Times newspaper, but we've actually got the North Korean Times. This is tomorrow's front page. Oh, there you go. It's heavily redacted. Kim Jong-un wins Eurovision, so that's a fact, isn't it? There we go. And Supreme Leader opens best holiday resort ever. No pictures, though. They've not made the cut. They're all on the editor's floor.
There's no such thing as a North Korean Times.
No, that's it, Lewis. It's just heavily redacted. That's what the North Koreans are allowed to see.
I don't believe you.
No?
No, I don't.
Well, there we go. That's a real shame.
But you know what? I'm going to say something to you, and I love you because you let me work. But the point is, you let me on this show. But the point is that this North Korea thing is not funny. It's horrible. Those people are basically slaves. They're locked in the country. They can't get out of the country. There's no food.
They've got a water slide now,
and they have
fireworks.
one water slide, but probably it's only for the special officers of the North Korean thing, because we didn't do what we needed to do, which is we should have basically dealt with North Korea when there was time.
I mean, to be fair, North Korea is a bit of a problem.
That's exactly how we should say it.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Well, it is. I mean, I'd like it if they didn't get nukes, but Little Rocket Man seems to be, hopefully, I don't know, getting them anytime soon, but maybe he's already got them. I don't know. But anyway, there we go. I apparently am the only one who wants to go to North Korea here, so I am going to be full square trying to get it. You know, the North Korean embassy is just like a house in Harrow, I think, isn't it? Seriously. Yeah, it is. It's like somewhere like Harrow. It's somewhere like... and so I'm going to try and lobby them and say, can I go and present this show from wherever that tourist destination is? But coming up, it's the moment that you've all been waiting for. The Know Your Ayatollah quiz is coming for tonight's finale. Stay tuned.
I forecast a perfect holiday in the sun.
Weather looking good then?
For sure, and no worries about our travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GBNews Travel Destinations Forecast.
Hello. Lots of hot and sunny weather around the Mediterranean at the moment. Temperatures rising again in Spain. Quite a brisk breeze blowing at times over the Canaries. Some fine sunny weather here, a bit breezy too along the Portuguese coast, but a lot of sunshine across much of Iberia, through Italy and across the Greek islands as well. It'll turn a little cooler across the eastern Med as we head into the weekend, but temperatures continuing to rise in Spain and Portugal on Saturday and Sunday.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GBNews Travel Destinations Forecast.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our viewers and listeners. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/your say. There, you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/your say, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
Because you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes and Kerr weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Good Afternoon Britain isn't just about us. The wonderful thing about this programme is it's about everyone watching. It's an interactive programme.
Well, there absolutely is something to see here, and we're going to be talking about it more. Whether it's breaking royal news, please bring us up to date, or indeed a particularly punchy speech in the House of Commons.
Very, very curious.
We bring it to you live, and then we bring you live reaction as well.
That's Good Afternoon Britain, weekdays from midday.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Mornings don't have to be tiresome, especially if you have the right company.
Wake up to news as it happens, opinion and debate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment too.
Because when the kettle's on, we're on.
That's Breakfast on GB News, a show worth waking up for.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
We'll spread the news, you spread the word.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
What is the state of our economy? What is the state of our National Health Service? What is the state of our schools?
What on earth is going on?
Understanding Britain means understanding the state we are in. This is State of the Nation with me, Matt Goodwin, Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays from 8 p.m. on GB News.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, you didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back to Patrick Christys Tonight, late edition. Do you remember this guy? It's Comical Ali. He was Saddam Hussein's press spokesman who famously told the world there are no Americans in Baghdad, just as thousands of American troops were invading Baghdad, forever cementing himself into history as a man in denial. Indeed, some still ponder to this day whether Comical Ali ever actually found any Americans in Iraq at all. Well, in some bizarre news earlier today, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei addressed his 2 million social media followers, saying, "I offer my congratulations on the victory over the fallacious Zionist regime," taking on a Comical Ali-esque tone of shameless denial about the situation in the Middle East. Comical Khamenei certainly has got a ring to it, but this really got me thinking. Did you know that there have actually been 2 Ayatollahs? Ayatollah Khamenei, the one we have now, and Ayatollah Khomeini, the original one, the one who had this song written about it by Not the 9 O'Clock News. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Britain's newest game show. I present to you, No, You're Ayatollah. Tonight, I'm going to be asking my panel a number of questions, and it will be their job to figure out whether the answer is Khomeini or Khamenei. Is that clear?
Correct.
Is that clear? We all know the rules.
Clear.
OK, so, question 1, everybody. Which Ayatollah put a fatwa on Salman Rushdie's head, offering $6 million and a free trip to paradise?
The first one.
Yeah,
the first one? Are you going to name him?
Ayatollah Khomeini.
You're going Khomeini? Do we have consensus there?
I think Khamenei, but we'll go Khomeini.
You're going Khamenei, but they're going Khomeini.
I'm saying the first one.
OK, shall we find out? It was indeed Khomeini. There we go. Well done. OK, well...
Not on the same team.
Let's go. Let's go. Which Ayatollah started the Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear program? Any guesses? Khomeini, Khamenei, Khomeini, Khamenei, Khomeini, Khamenei.
Khamenei.
Oh, I'd say Khamenei. I bet it was the...
I say Khomeini.
You say Khomeini. We have Khamenei. Khamenei.
Yeah.
Well, any guesses at home, by the way? You can play along too. That's the beauty of Know Your Ayatollah. You can join in any time you like. Get involved in your say. Shall we find out together?
Yeah.
It's Khamenei! Well done. I hope you're keeping score, and I hope you're keeping score at home as well. Yeah. Now, which Ayatollah tweeted in support of Black Lives Matter?
That must be Khamenei. That must be Khamenei.
Anyone? Yeah, tweeted in support of Black Lives Matter.
Second one.
Second one, yeah.
The second one?
Khamenei.
For the second one, did you get it at home? Yay! There we go. Khamenei. Way. Well done. OK, are you keeping score? Who's winning so far?
Anna.
Yeah?
No, I'm winning. I've got 3.
No, you got 2.
I've got 2. And how many do you have?
2.
No, you don't. 2.
Yeah,
OK.
But my 2 mean more than your 2.
Oh, there we are. Right, now we're going to take a bit of time with this. Let it ruminate. Let it breathe a little bit, and I hope you're keeping score at home. Which Ayatollah was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year? So that's which Ayatollah was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year?
The first
one.
Khamenei
or...
I'm going to go
Khamenei.
You're going Khamenei again. You're just going with your gut on this, aren't you?
Well,
I don't think you can say Khamenei, Chris.
No, because he signed some deal, didn't he, for the nuclear proliferation thing that he just threw out the window. So I reckon it might be in.
So you're going, just so we're clear on this,
The
this
later
really
one.
is the beauty of the game, Know Your Ayatollah, because it's quite difficult to tell which one they're all saying. So you're going for, what is it? Khamenei. Khamenei. There you go. You see how that's why we did the game. So you're saying Khamenei. Who's saying Khamenei?
Khamenei.
And you think so? Time Magazine's Man of the Year. Remarkable, isn't it? Really, that an Ayatollah would be put up for Time Magazine's Man of the Year. Shall we find out? Shall we find out? The answer is. Khamenei. Yeah, that's right. It was in 1979, the year he took over. So, seriously, the revolution, the Iranian Islamist revolution, and Time Magazine went...
Chris wasn't around then.
And that year, they took loads of Americans hostage in the embassy. Time Magazine, seriously, Time Magazine went, I tell you what would be a great idea. You know that Ayatollah chap? Yeah, seems like one of us.
Well, Hitler was also Man of the Year. I don't think that they did it based on niceness back then, because maybe I would have been, or maybe...
Well, fair enough. Yeah, no, they have, or maybe they were actually just really weird. So, let's go now to which Ayatollah has written more than 40 books. Now, just to say at home, if it's close, this is the final question, OK? So it's all to play for, isn't it? Which Ayatollah wrote more than 40 books?
I reckon Khamenei. I reckon the
Khamenei is the first one.
Khamenei's the first
What are you basing this on? What are you basing it on?
How old they would have been.
Just how old he is?
Yeah.
They're both the same age, basically, when they...
Because they're both very old, aren't they?
No,
This is the thing.
Yeah.
I think the second one is a bit more intellectual than the first one.
I think this one's more of the intellectual Ayatollah.
More scholarly.
Interesting. Interesting. Right, good.
Not sure.
No, the brains on the Ayatollah. I've always said that. So, so there we go. All right, well, so who's going for what here?
Khamenei.
You're going Khamenei again. You like Khamenei, don't you?
I went for Khamenei last time.
Oh, you went for Khamenei last time, right, OK, good. Which one's you?
Khamenei,
and you're...
And I'm the second guy.
The second guy, the second Ayatollah.
Together.
OK, which Ayatollah wrote more than 40 books? Prolific, wasn't he? The J.K. Rowling of Iran, some call him. Let's find out together. Oh, it was Khamenei. Oh, there we go. There we go. So it was Khamenei. If you at home said Khamenei, I'm afraid to say you're wrong about that.
I think I'm winning 3-1.
Khamenei. So
it's 3-all now.
So hang on a minute. So what are the scores on the doors, please?
It's 3-all now.
Well, it's 3-all.
Yeah.
That's boring, isn't it? Well, I hope you all did all right. Well, we can do it next week, can't we? And we can settle it. Can't we? We can settle it there. But there we go. Right, I'm going to whiz myself back over here, and I think maybe we'll just see what we can make of the remainder of tomorrow's newspapers. So here we go. Stay sat down, Lewis. Hey, don't get up for me, mate. Don't get up for me. You stay where you are, sweet cheek. Sit down. Right, OK. So we have just about got time to round up again the rest of tomorrow's newspaper front pages, or, of course, if you're watching us early doors in the morning, then today's front page. We start with the Daily Telegraph. Starmer caves into rebels on benefits. PM climbs down on disability benefits. The next newspaper front page that we've got is The Guardian. Of course, they are also carrying the story, aren't they, about the benefits changes, basically. They say massive concessions on the front page of The Guardian. And the next one we're doing is the Daily Express. Slightly odd story in the Daily Express, I must say. The Daily Express are saying that Esther Ranson's daughter is not on a deathbed. Not only that she's not on a deathbed, but how dare you suggest that Esther Ranson's on a deathbed, which is bizarre, given that that's the reason behind the assisted dying bill. The Daily Mail, they've gone for Starmer caves into rebels on benefits. Also a picture there of Jeff Bezos kissing his new bride. 30-odd million quid that wedding cost, so there we go. The I newspaper, I think we've just got time for a couple more. The I newspaper, they're also going on the benefits cuts, or the U-turn, I should say. The Sun front page, they've got quite a bad story there for Cheryl Tweedy. A killer back stalking Cheryl. The Times newspaper, they've gone for PM pledges protections for the Sable, which they say has helped to win over the rebels. And the final one is the Mirror, New Hope on Pips. And that breaking news that we brought you right at the start, which I imagine in just a few minutes' time, they are going to be giving you on the award-winning breakfast show, is that it looks as though Keir Starmer is saying, if you're on PIP, you can keep it. And if you're on the health aspect of universal credit, you can keep that as well. Thank you very much, my wonderful panel. It's been a ride. It's been a real ride. I've enjoyed it. Take it easy. Have a great day ahead. All the very best. See you tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Expect a warm front, moving from the kitchen right through to the rest of the house. Boxed Boilers, sponsors of weather on GB News.
Hello again and welcome to the latest update from the Met Office for GB News. Hot and sunny weather is on the way for many by the end of the weekend, but for the next 24 hours it's going to be very changeable, very mixed across the country, with thicker cloud returning to many northern and western parts overnight and outbreaks of rain along with tighter isobars. That means a freshening breeze. We do start with some clear spells during the evening, but quite quickly the thicker cloud rolls in from the west and we're going to see dreary conditions by dawn, especially towards the northwest, with outbreaks of rain for Western Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northwest England, North Wales. After some rain moves through earlier in the night, it's drying up by this stage across southern parts of the UK. Even some sunshine first thing through southern England, parts of the Midlands, East Anglia and the southeast. But thick cloud further north and low cloud at that, so it's going to be covering some of these hills in Western Scotland, misty conditions around the coast. Drizzly outbreaks of rain, especially for central and western Scotland into northwest England, Northern Ireland. That rain will be on and off, but it will be persistent over some of the hills and mountains. Likewise for North Wales, but drier for South Wales, just one or two light showers. Equally, a few spots of rain, perhaps over Dartmoor, but mostly dry towards the southwest. And the best of the sunshine during the morning will be through the Midlands, East Anglia and the southeast, where it will feel warm and increasingly humid once again, with the wind coming from the southwest. And that wind will be picking up strength across northern parts of the UK, bringing more persistent and heavier rain into Western Scotland, northwest England by the end of the afternoon, making it feel on the cool side, but temperatures up to 27 or 28 Celsius, where we see the sunshine in the southeast. That leads us on to a muggy night for sleeping and a grey start to the weekend for many of us. Now, the areas of rain across Scotland sink south into central parts of the country by Saturday afternoon and then fizzle away as high pressure builds in from the south. That's going to import much hotter air by the end of the weekend and the start of next week.
Expect a warm front, moving from the kitchen right through to the rest of the house. Boxed Boilers, sponsors of weather on GB News.
£54,321 in totally tax-free cash could make your year the best yet. How would you react if you got that winning call?
Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Oh my God. Thank you.
You weren't expecting to get that call today, were you?
No, I wasn't.
For another chance to win £54,321 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB14 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines closed